Hi, my populace. Welcome to my okay. Hi, my populace. Welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a quick video. I'm gonna explain you how I got my American accent. I'm doing this video because I know sometimes when I'm speaking, especially in the street or if I'm traveling, people always are confused in the fact that I am actually French. They always say to me like, you have, even when I'm speaking French, like I'm sounding like a stranger, which is kind of funny because I'm literally not. But anyway, and then I thought maybe it was interesting to do a video where I explain you how I got my American accent. It's not like something that I actually really work on that, even if, although I already told you that fluency is not really the goal that you have to reach. I will say all the time when you're speaking a language, when you're learning a new language, you need to make sure like you're getting in the most important things, which are vocabulary, learning basic stuff, and being able to converse with someone, just being able to exchange with someone and just talk. This work for me is important, and just not forget the fact that even if you still have your native accent when you're speaking a different language, you are speaking a different language. So okay, rock your ass, because you're doing amazing. You are able to speak with someone in his native language while being not speaking your own native language, and this is already something amazing. So do not look for something more than that. If you can already reach that point, that's amazing, and you don't need more than that. But of course, I understand the fact that people will want to get more fluent, and they always talk about fluency as just the accent, and I disagree with that. Fluency is way different from accent. You can be very fluent in a language and still have your mother tongue accent when you're speaking that target language, and that's okay too. I mean, for example, my boyfriend has a very strong Italian accent when, well, not strong, but he still have an Italian accent when he speaks English, and then it's okay. I feel like very cute, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I fall in love with him. Really make the difference between fluency and accent. Okay, you can get fluent in something and still have your own mixed accent when you're speaking, and you can be very good at mimicking an accent and not be fluent. So there is two different things to take that. But of course, if you're reaching the fluency level and having the accent, it can be amazing and it can be great. Also, it's a good job. I am very supportive of that. I'm really supportive of that, and I can give you some tips to reach that double level of being fluent and also having an accent that is not really recognizable, I would say this way, if I may. So the first thing is that really helps me, and it's not really needed. You don't have to do that, but I'm just gonna give that to you as the first things, and after we can move on. It's the fact that I was living in the country. Okay, I used to live in the state. I enjoy living in the state, and I literally, for a very long time in my life, were literally centered around that country. The state, the United States, for me was like a very beautiful country that I really wanted to discover. I was very curious about that country. I was watching a lot of TV shows, movies coming from that country, and it was just like things to do on my list, and then a place to study. So the fact that I was able to study in that country, live in that country, literally helped me to get that language. I was living in a place with someone, and they were like renting a bedroom from. I was renting a bedroom in the house, and she used to say to me that, you know, your English is great, but you know, the father was not able to understand anything I was saying. Not anything, but not all the time. It was like all the time I had to repeat all the time. And I remember Bunny, that was her name. Bunny, she was always telling me, I don't know why he doesn't understand you because you speak very well. But the guy was having a little bit issue of that. But then after, when I left the country and I came back in France, and then we started talking when I was going and visiting sometimes, that's when he told me, your English got better since you left America, and it's actually a fact. I don't know why, but my English got better after I left America. So you don't sometimes need to be in a country to be learning the language. Let's just say that sometimes it will help you, but then after, if you have to go back or leave the place and still practicing, which is important things, then your level is still gonna get better and your accent is gonna get better. Second thing that I did to get that accent, I would say, is probably just literally being curious about that culture. I watched so many shows and movies in original language since long time, way before I was able to speak that much English, way before I was fluent in English. I was literally watching all the time original movies and original TV shows in American accent. So for example, I would be watching like Marvels in English. I would be watching like all the TV shows, that One Tree Hill, The Walking Dead, Grey's Anatomy. I always watch them in the original version. I don't even know the voices in French because I've never listened to them in other languages except their own language. So yeah, I would say probably the fact that yes, since a very long time I have been used to watch things on the original version, and getting used to people speaking to me with that language, with that accent. So that's why also my accent is more than that. The question that I get most of the time also is the fact that I do not have a British accent, which is kind of funny since UK is closer than the US from France. And I agree, it would be making more sense, especially when we study English in school. In France, we do study more with the British way than actually the American way. But the culture was bigger, and for me, more interesting, and I was relating more to that culture. So maybe that's why I switched it that fast with the American accent. And also the fact that, as I said, I lived there did really help to actually make American accent kind of like the first things that I have. And then it's possible for me also, if I really pay attention and if I am surrounded by Britons, that I will get the British accent. I can't change a little bit the way I'm talking. I will be emphasis on some words, some intonation. I would say water and not water. I would say can't and not can't. You know, I was just starting to say those kind of things, and it would get me slowly there. I think, like, for example, if I am getting very close to someone right now and speaking British accent, I would be able to mimic that and switch as much as possible. I am having already some intonation that is coming in my head right now, and the fact that I'm not speaking British accent right now, but I'm more using American accent. But just for you to know that it is okay at some point to be able to learn a language with an accent or no, and you can choose the accent. Sometimes I do that very on purpose, and did not do that with English, but I'm definitely doing that right now with Portuguese because I really want the Brazilian one and the Brazilian Portuguese. So that's why I'm literally targeting Brazilian Portuguese. Just because I feel more comfortable with that, just because I feel more interesting about that. And yeah, I'm watching Brazilian TV shows, Brazilian movies, I'm listening Brazilian podcasts. So the way of the Brazilian accent is way more powerful and more accurate in my head right now than the Portuguese from Portugal. So you also have to know that sometimes you will do that on purpose, sometimes it would just based on your preferences and the way that it would come. And I also know a lot of people that will speak for a long time a language and not get the accent on that language, and that's okay too. I mean, I'm talking about like removing the native speaking accent and getting to the accent of the targeting language. That's okay too. You do not have to do everything the way everybody's doing it. Just make sure like you're speaking well enough to be understood and to understand people, and also just to make sure like you're not making mistakes. Again, if you're not doing mistakes, okay. Even native people speak when they speak, they do mistakes. Okay, when I speak in French, I do also do mistakes, and that's okay. I don't get my fluency or my level of French removed from me because I did mistakes when I was talking in French. So you will not have the same thing with the language that you're targeting and that you're learning, of course. Getting the accent, it's not really something that I would say you have some exercise to do if you really want to get there. I would say probably listen more people speaking, repeating more, like doing like repetitions of accent, like targeting for pronunciation of the way it's been said. But for this one, you need to talk with people, you need to talk to locals, and again, it's very different. If you're listening to someone from Philly and someone from LA, they really speak differently. From someone from New York in the Bronx and someone from Manhattan, they have a little bit of differences. I've seen that. If you talk to someone from Texas and someone from New York, they speak very differently also with a different accent. So accent is really not the main goal, I would say, and that's why I really want to make that video about. It's like, it's great if you do that and if you got that, but you would got any kind of accent, and you have a lot of accent even in own country. I'm from a French speaking French, so French is one of my favorite language and my native language, I would say. We do have different accents from the south, from Paris, from the north. We have different accents. So if you're learning French, which kind of accent will you be speaking with? The south one, the Parisian one, the north one, you know, you just, and it's okay. Are you gonna learn also French with a Quebecois accent? No. So the fact that it's just, accent is accent. We all have accent. Okay, I don't know if my accent is more American, if my English is more American than British. Well, probably it is. But the fact that I'm not saying that is maybe from, you will not know from where it is. You will not, by listening to me, know which type of city or state I target in US to be able to improve my accent and just copy that accent, because there is no way for you to know that. They will know, but I will know. but you were not, and that's the point. And it's just like, it's okay, it's fine. I don't know if I said everything that I wanted to say here. Those are videos that I just come, I put my camera on, I sit on the floor, and I'm just like talking with you and giving you like my real conversation, like I'm having a conversation with you right now in the same room. And actually, when you ask my question, how do you get that? I'm just like giving you like my free answer here. Okay, it's not scripted. There is no work on that answer before, so it may be a little bit everywhere and nowhere on the same time, but that's okay, because this is what we want to do here. We want to be honest. We want to have honest conversation here. Those are like languages. I do that for fun, and I enjoy doing that. Of course, I am targeting also a goal life, but I am not taking it that too serious, because it's not school. Okay, I have my own school that I took seriously, like law school. That is very serious. Languages is not that serious for me. Languages is just like passion, something I really want to get, and something that I want to improve. That's it. And getting accent, it's something that just get easier for me, because learning languages is easier for me, I assume. But I don't have tips for you to actually do that, except just like surrounded yourself in the language, in the environment of the language you're targeting. But this is also for learning it faster, and also living there and talking to local will help you eventually just get the language. Talking to yourself or repeating after people talking just to pronounce the same way will also help you to get the accent. But what will help you to lose your accent, your native speaking accent, I say, is just speaking the language all the time. As much as possible, you will speak the language. As much as this language will becoming yours, and if the language becomes yours, then you will appropriate that, and then the accent that you will carry in will disappear slowly or faster depending on your level. So yeah, that's it for me. I hope I was able to answer to your question. I hope that video was not too long, and I hope you will enjoy that. Let me in the comments, if you speak English, do you have like more British accent, an Australian accent, American accent, as non-native speaking, of course, language? And let me know that in comments. I will be very happy to know that. Also tell me, where are you from? Because I'm feeling like it's more and more interesting to know where you guys are from, and to see like I'm getting a little bit more of like the analytics on YouTube, and I'm able to see a little bit where people are coming. It's still very, very, you know, not that big data, because we're still a young channel here, but I'm really happy to see that, and I really want to know where are you guys coming from. So let me know, just like a flag. We don't have to be giving too much detail, just put a flag and I will know that that's the country you're coming from, and the type of accent you have, targeting like the American accent, French, a British accent, Australian accent, whatever accent you were talking. So just put me the flags and those comments, and I will enjoy to see that. Do not forget to subscribe. You guys are watching but not subscribing, so the link is in the description box, and also here on the screen. I never know where, so probably here or here. Just find it and just subscribe and join the populace. And I will see you on the next one. You guys take care. Bye, my populace.